Good morning, everyone. You know, I survived combat, I've been shot at, but I've never felt the exhilaration like I am right now to stand in front of the 40th Grand Lodge Convention and present this report. It's kind of emotional, it really is. But I appreciate the opportunity from GVP Johnson. When he called me, I don't know, March, whatever it was, he says, hey, I got something I need you to do for me. And I said, no problem, what is it? He said, yeah, we have this steering committee that's going to launch the Veterans Committee. He goes, I need you to go give your influence. I said, no problem. So, as you heard Ski said, my name is Jim Samuel. I'm a delegate from Local 804. I'm also a general chairperson with District Lodge 142 for the last 15 years. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I'm a service... Got to get that out. I do promise the report's not written in crayon, so some know what that means. It's not written in crayon. I'm also a member, like I said, the Veterans Services Steering Committee. I would like those folks in the room that are on the VSSC to please stand also. Just to give you an idea of what they do, we meet at least once a month, and we are trying to take all the input from around the IAM and give it to Brother Evans to keep plotting the course for this most important committee. Thank you for standing for the VSSC. Like I said, I'm not only a veteran, I'm also service-connected and disabled. I was in a helicopter crash in 1990. Messed my back up. I've had 5 surgeries. I've been in the VA healthcare system for about 30 years. I've recently found out that Rich Evans is going to be able to help me increase my benefits after 30 years. So, and like I said, it's my extreme pleasure to deliver to the Grand Lodge Convention the report of your Veterans Committee. This is an inaugural report, so it's very important. We convened on October 3rd from 1545 to 1820, and for the civilians in the room, that's 3:45 to 6:20 p.m. And again on October 4th from 09:30 to 11:30. Roll call was conducted showing all assigned delegates present or accounted for. I'm going to break this report down into kind of 2 sections to talk about our successes to date and our plan for the future. So as it relates to our successes to date, you have to understand there are 2 different sides of the Department of Veterans Affairs. There's a benefits side and there's a services side, and they're distinctly different, and they both provide different things to our veterans. The work of Brother Evans, the Veteran Services Coordinator, has been successful in achieving many wins from both. You've heard some of these numbers, but I think they bear repeating. As of the reading of this report, and since April 1st, as he told you, he's received confirmation of 42 veterans claims being adjudicated and overall disability ratings being increased that include 11 veterans deemed 100% permanent and total disabled, and 2 veterans that were deemed homeless. While many dozens of claims remain outstanding and awaiting adjudication, the claims that have been adjudicated total a staggering 1,140%. And you know, it's hard for the non-veterans or the people that aren't in the VA system to even understand what that means. But I can tell you as a veteran and a service-connected disabled veteran, that is huge. Those total monthly increases added up to about 45 grand. And you have to understand when a claim is adjudicated, it often includes back pay for the veteran. And those checks can be very, very big. So the total back pay to date for all veterans has now exceeded $400,000. I guarantee by the next time we do this, this will be in the millions. There's no doubt in my mind. These veterans had a combined 29 spouses and 47 children that will also benefit from Brother Evans' dedicated hard work. I can tell you, when my father died in 2008, World War II veteran of the Army Air Corps, I was able to get benefits for my mother. It's called aid in attendance. You have to do that through somebody like Brother Evans. That's a VSO. So it's not just about the veteran. In addition, Brother Evans' work has fixed some errors. And that's just another element of what a VSO does. But he found two clear and unmistakable errors that were found on veterans' claims that were already adjudicated and completed, which resulted in additional retroactive benefits being awarded for 5 years for a total of 50% and additional $25,000 in back pay. As of today, there are currently 68 active claims in process, and we know that's going to climb daily, especially after this body goes home. I'd like to see Brother Evans start crying to the international president for some help. Because I know if everyone here were to take this information back to your territories, districts, and locals, it's likely that his claims activity would continue to climb astronomically. Finally, as of August 25th, and this is a milestone, with the help of the General Counsel, thank you, and the Legislative Department, our union has submitted an application to be recognized by the Department of Veteran Affairs as a Veterans Service Organization. If one man can achieve all this since April 1st, just imagine what a true mobilization of our resources in becoming a VSO can produce moving forward. So I'm going to talk about the VSO, Veteran Service Organization, and the VSO, Veterans Service Officers. They're called the same thing by VSO, but not to be confused. So a goal identified early on with the Veteran Services Department was to move forward with the Machinist Union becoming the first recognized Veterans Service Organization to exist in the history of organized labor. Never been done. That's thanks to International President Martinez. The path to being recognized as a VSO requires a lengthy application process that includes total compliance with many, many, many federal regulations. This process has already taken nearly a year and a half to achieve so far. I would like to take the opportunity to highlight just how important this endeavor is by reading a passage from a letter submitted in support of our application for VSO recognition by Congressman Jared Golden from the 2nd District of Maine. We have any people from Maine in the house? Yeah. Make it a point to thank this congressman, because this is an excellent letter. But I captured a piece out of it that everybody on the committee, it kind of struck us. And as he says, designation of IAMVBS as a VSO would help support the national security implications of many IAMAW members' work. As noted in a recent Department of Defense report, the defense industrial base is the key to preserving and extending U.S. competitive military dominance in the coming century, and with it, deterrence that will keep Americans safe and keep the peace. Thousands of IAMAW members and workers, including veterans among its ranks, helped build crucial defense platforms such as the Arleigh Burke class DDG-51 destroyers. We have anybody in the house from there? Good. Virginia-class attack submarines and the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, which are critical for implementing the National Defense Strategy and deterring potential adversaries. So again, I am pleased to report that as of 25th, it has been filed with the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs and is in process. And again, this could not have been possible without the help of the legal department, the full backing of International President Martinez and the entire Executive Council. One of the themes we kind of latched onto in our committee was to try to capture what it is we're doing in, as we bounce some ideas back and forth. What we came up with was a mission to mobilize our resources for the future. So in our deliberations, the delegates of your Veterans Committee have been able to identify several initiatives for the IAM Veteran Services Steering Committee and the IAM Veteran Service Department to achieve before the next Grand Lodge Convention. They include full development of a 501c5 charity that allows donations to be made for the use of Veteran Services Department to aid in the processing of claims which would include access to skilled medical professionals, to have the right documentation, or as they're often referred to, nexus letters, that ensure the successful adjudication of veterans' claims. And as you heard on the panel, I think some people there talked about how important these nexus letters are. That's not a free service, though. Developing lobbying goals oriented to both state and federal levels. There are a lot of changes that can be made at the state level. Developing the services to include our Canadian veterans. Do we have any Canadian veterans in the house? Please stand. Our commitment to you, brother, while it's currently not possible, we will pursue a lobbying effort through the Canadian territory with their government to try to allow the IAM to service your veterans also. We want to create an outreach program for our veteran members who may not be aware of their eligibility for benefits. Out of all the veterans in the room, I've heard numerous people, they've come up to me and said, I didn't even know. You know, it doesn't even occur to them to think about it. We're going to develop a transitional assistant program, or as anybody that's been in the military knows, we call it TAP. TAP is kind of the class when you exit the military and they try to help you adjust back to the civilian world. They fail miserably. I can't stress enough, they fail miserably. The hardest thing to do is to go, and the hardest thing for me to do was to go from the Marine Corps, 1,000 miles an hour, my head on fire, being shot at, right back to civilian life. It was a tough adjustment. So we're going to develop a transitional assistant program to help bridge the gap between the completion of veteran service and the beginning of their union membership. This will include, in addition to the new hire member kit, and an option on our union membership application to denote military service. Our committee was strongly in support of further development of the Veteran Services Training at the William W. Winpensinger Education and Technology Center. They saw the need to further develop the curriculum so that it can be taught not only at W3, but also at the district and local lodge level via development of field training modules. We would also like to see work towards the establishment of a regularly scheduled Veterans Conference. And some of the ideas there were to hold it in D.C. We believe it would be very well attended in the D.C. area, just due to the veterans' nature of it. We also want to thank the delegate body for their support in passing Resolution 5 and Prop 62. Relating to Prop 62 and the founding of the Local Lodge Veterans Committee, this committee is supporting that all local and district lodges conduct veterans events and community support and outreach. So in conclusion, with the development of the Veterans Benefit Support functions, the Machinists Union is again on the forefront of the labor movement throughout the entire world. This groundbreaking initiative sets a new bar that will be tough for any other union to follow. To International President Martinez, the Executive Council, delegates and guests, this concludes my report. I want to thank all the delegates that participated in the breakout session. There's a saying here that I want to repeat, and I might butcher it because it is Latin, and I don't speak English well, so. Sapiens exertus, semper fidelis, the Marines in the room know what that one means, and frater infinitus. That stands for often tested, always faithful, brothers forever. And with that reading of this report, I so move for its adoption.
Thanks, Jim. Yes.